April 25th. It is Thursday, so we are going to be doing the Thursday 3 strategies of Huang Shaigong. Trying to get this one in a little bit early. I think it's allergy season. Everyone's starting to mow their lawns, so before I turn into a waterfall, I'm going to try to get this one out. And so like we've been doing, we're going to start with the Thursday 3, the three strategies, and then go to the Daily Stoic. So let's pick up where we left off in the first chapter, Upper Strategies. Verse 4, for this reason it is said, there is nobody who does not covet strength, but few who can maintain what is subtle. If someone can preserve what is subtle, then he can protect his life. The sage preserves it in order to respond to all possibilities. If they unfold it subtly, will pervade the four seas. If they roll it up, it will not even fill a cup. If they dwell in it, it cannot be used as a home. If they guard it, it cannot be used as city walls. They store it deep in their heart, and the enemy states will submit. The military pronouncements say, and this is verse 5, when capable of both suppleness and rigidity, one state will shine with glory. When capable of both weakness and strength, one state will be outstanding. When purely supple and purely weak, one state will certainly be pared away. When purely rigid and purely strong, one state will certainly perish. This is interesting to say because it's almost like the ever-pervasive theme, right, that we seem to find in the military text, from Sun Tzu to the Wu Zi to this one. And even sometimes in Stoic, it's that counterbalance, that yin and yang, right, of you've got to be rigid yet supple, right? And so for me, supple means like a little bit extravagant, a little bit creative, a little bit innovative, right? Because without the freedom of the people to be creative and to express themselves, you can't really advance society because there's nothing to work for, right? And with too much rigidity, right, and too much sternness, you stifle that. You stifle the individual will, the individual creativity, the individual thing that what is so worth fighting for and striving for. So let's go over to the Daily Stoic now by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman, and let's see for April 25th what kind of happenstances and lessons and morals we can learn from there's nothing wrong with being wrong. If anyone can prove and show to me that I think and act in error, I will gladly change it, for I seek the truth, by which no one has ever been harmed. The one who is harmed is the one who abides in deceit and ignorance. Marcus Aurelius, Meditation 6.21. Right, so like the man in the mirror, right? Because another little pervasive stereotypical thought, the man in the mirror, whether it's a rapper talking about it or an artist or you're reading about it in the book, we all know that every human, right, is a sinner. Every human lies, and the biggest lie is the one that we tell ourselves every day. We lie to ourselves the hardest. And so if someone points out to you they are in your ways or they're trying to help, it's just you who are being harmed by continuing to let the lie and whatever holds you back. Whatever words, whatever phrase, right, that you're repeating, right, you are not your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. Everyone has crazy thoughts. They're all over the place. Everyone is like a dog chasing a squirrel with their thoughts, and it's about who can focus, right? And part of that self-introspection, reflection, is being able to be honest with yourself and admitting when you're down and out, or admitting that you've made mistakes or whatever. For me, just admitting that I'm not as smart as I think I was, like that was so freeing. Like you have to eat a big dose of humble pie, but when you realize there's freedom in that, it's a great move to make. Someone once attempted to argue with the philosopher Cicero by quoting something he had said or written. The person claimed Cicero was saying one thing now, but had believed something different in the past. His response, I live from day one to the next. If something strikes me as probable, I say it. And that is how, unlike everyone else, I remain a free agent. No one should be ashamed of changing his mind. That's what the mind is for. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. Emerson said, adored by little statesmen and philosophers and divines. That's why we go to such lengths to learn and expose ourselves to wisdom. It would be embarrassing if we didn't end up finding out if we were wrong in the past. Remember, you're a free agent. When someone points out a legitimate flaw in your belief or in your actions, they're not criticizing you. They're presenting a better alternative. Accept it. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about like what internet and technology has given us. It has shown us that there's so much more alternatives out there to achieving what we want to do. And it's going to be an interesting next decade as well, after what we've seen, the rise of people playing video games as their job, these influencers, these things like that, what is going to happen, and what standard of living and what, what's going to change. And I think to bring the message home, putting all of that aside, thinking about, being rigid versus being supple and being honest with yourself, right? Bringing all three of these themes together into one. In April of 2024, it's like the thing to be an entrepreneur. And everyone's doing it, be an influencer or whatever. And it's a hard way to make a living. And so many people, and I'm not discouraging it, but I'm just saying that being honest with yourself doesn't mean you have to keep up with the crowd or do what is cool, right? Not everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. I have friends who have been entrepreneurs, and they are honest with themselves after a time, saying like, I don't want that. I just like being the labor. I like being able to just like know what my duties are, show up, and then go home and then enjoy my life and pursue other passions and hobbies. And that is okay, right? Because until you're in the shoes of the entrepreneur, and if you know you're capable of making more money by being labor for someone else than you are as an entrepreneur, because you just are honest with yourself about, I'm not good at handling this, I'm not good at handling that, and maybe the more you get into it, the more you realize how unglamorous the life of the entrepreneur is. And so you don't know what you don't know. And if you're not where you're at, it doesn't mean that things are better on the other side. It just means that there might be many entrepreneurs jealous of you all making six figures and working from home, working 6-7 hour days, 4 days a week, right? Because you guys got it figured out, because you've leveraged some strength, some intelligence. And it does go hand in hand with intelligence, does go hand in hand with your ability to earn. And so, that's why we do this. That's why we hone these skills. We read these verses and combine them every day to try to learn a new perspective. And the perspective today is be rigid but be supple, right? Be creative and be expressive, but be disciplined, and make sure that you're doing what's best for you, the state, right? And the people, right? The citizenry, whether that be your employees or your emotions, or however you're handling whatever it is that you're handling at the time. And so with that, we'll see you guys on the next one.